Welcome back once again. As we earlier said, we're going to be digging into the, of course, the most important topic of the hour, which is the escalation in the Gaza Strip as usual. Israel breaching and violating the truce, and again escalating its bombardment, and again resuming striking the Gaza Strip, bombing the innocent unarmed civilians, and of course unfolding more injuries, more bombing, more bringing down of buildings, and martyrs, Palestinian civilians, and all that. Very delighted to be joined over the phone live by Mr. Rahman. He's a political analyst, a journalist, and a writer. Good morning, Mr. Rahman.
Well, good morning to you. Hello to you and the dear viewers.
Thank you so much. It's our real pleasure. Let us first talk about the recent developments inside the Gaza Strip. Of course, there were talks that there is going to be a halt of the bombardment, give the Palestinian civilians, the unarmed civilians, a break, even at least through the holy month of Ramadan, as they are fasting. They are Muslims and they are fasting, and they should respect, Israelis and the whole world should respect the faith of others, but they did not. Again, they are escalating the bombardment, breaching and violating the truce, and of course resuming striking the Gaza Strip. How do you read that?
I read it as an Egyptian citizen and an Arabian citizen, as well as each and every citizen in the free world has read that escalation in the situation, and another breaking the international law, another violating the international law, and another assault against the human rights, against the Arabs in the occupied lands, and the lands that are under siege, whether in Palestine or in Gaza Strip. I believe that another crime is being committed, and that crime is significant in the bloody history of the Zionist existence. Why? Because the whole world has witnessed an agreement that is being signed by each and every power in the region. There is ceasefire, and there is an exchange of hostages, and there is a project to re-establish what the Zionists destroying machine has committed in Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
But suddenly, all of a sudden, out of the blue, out of nowhere, the assault is being committed again against civilians, against people who are fasting, starting another day of fasting in Ramadan, in Holy Ramadan. That crime that each and every citizen, each and every organization, international organization in the world, each and every conscience, a regime with conscience, each and every nation all over the world has condemned. And of course, Egypt has expressed its strong situation towards that assault. I believe that there are too many cards are being played under table. I believe that we still need, as Arabs, to unite our forces, unite our cards, unite our situations, unite our project to re-establish what was demolished in Gaza Strip and other places, even in Palestine. Until then, until we reach that common project, the assaults will go on. Until we are united in situations from Gulf to the ocean, from the Atlantic to the Arabian Gulf. The assault will be continued until then. Also, we are witnessing a very dangerous escalating in the situation here, because as Egypt has took the most strong and firm situation towards the vicious agenda, whether the American or the Israeli, to push the Palestinians in Gaza Strip to leave their own homeland, to whether Sinai or Jordan or other places. But I believe that they are planning to push those innocent people, those Arabs, to another country or another place, or even another unlegitimate country like what they call it, Somaliland. That unlegitimate state that is being supported by regional powers and by the Israelis and the Americans. I believe this is an international crime. This is a crime against the international law, against all the humanity, against all the nations. They are planning Plan B because they didn't succeed in the Plan A, which is pushing the Palestinians from Gaza Strip to Sinai. Now they are thinking of other options, and they are all vicious options. As I said, the only way to confront those agendas, to confront and to stop those assaults, is taking a united situation and a firm situation, and a whole lot of not just the situation of saying no. It also should be containing a project, a strong project to re-establish what was demolished in Gaza Strip, in Libya, in Syria. In Syria, right as we are speaking right now, we have witnessed a new assault against the Syrian lands. I believe with this terroristic regime that is ruling Syria right now, that regime is a friendly regime to these units' existence, and as we are speaking, there is a new assault, and of course the regime in Syria will not take a stand and will not take any reflect for that assault.
Right.
All the Arabs are really need to take that situation, and that's a positive project.
Right. As we are speaking of maneuvering around the idea of displacing the Palestinian and insisting again and again on displacing forcibly the innocent Palestinians out of their land of the Gaza Strip and out of Jerusalem in general, and taking them over to out of the whole place over to presumably I mean, those are all fake statements. A city in north of Sinai until there is full reconstruction of the Gaza Strip, which was refuted by Egypt and by the State of Information Service here in Egypt, saying that this is totally wrong. Egypt did not give a statement like that. On the contrary, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have been on and on, even during marking Martyrs' Day earlier, Veterans' Day, and anniversary of the 10th of Ramadan. He has been continuously stressing his full support for the Palestinian cause and his full rejection of displacing the innocent Palestinians out of their own land, because displacing the Palestinians again means that we are liquidating the whole Palestinian cause and robbing the Palestinian historical right out of their land. So the idea of moving around and maneuvering around the idea of displacement, again, statements by President Donald Trump that there is no displacement, and the U.S. administration is supporting a reconstruction and supporting a two-state solution, and then again finding out some kind of a truce and exchanging hostages, so that they could reach a situation where there is sort out and a solution. But again, they are maneuvering with the media. So how do you explain that?
Well, let me have this idea in 3 points. First, the Egyptian situation is a total patriotic and a strong and strategic situation. By refusing displacing the Palestinians from their own homeland in Gaza Strip into Sinai or any other place. Why? Because, as you have kindly mentioned, that such action means it's opening the gates for displacement of more Palestinians into other places than their own homeland. That means they want to bury the whole case. They want to bury the whole cause. They want to bury all the Palestinians, whether in Palestine, as they are doing right now, by burying their living citizens under their own land, or bury the whole cause by displacing the Palestinians in other countries. That's first. Second, the Palestinians themselves in Gaza Strip, we have all witnessed that holy march that they have taken by walking on foot by hundreds of thousands, going back home after the ceasefire was resoluted. We have witnessed that historical scene. They have went back home despite there is no homes. There are no homes. There are no facilities. There are no electricity. There are no hospitals. There are no schools. But they went back home, and they held on to their own homeland, even the soil. They will hold on to it, and they will not leave their own country, either alive or dead. That means that the Palestinians have learned the lesson. They have learned what happened in the year of 1948 when the Jews convinced some Palestinians to leave their own land or forced them, and then these have surrendered for years. Now they are fighting for their own rights, and now it's time for the PLO as an umbrella for the resistance to be revived again. This is for the Palestinians. As for the American situation, we have all witnessed that Trump has taken it like that, like waltzing with the international community. First, he insists to displace the Palestinians from their own homeland. Second, he takes he launches a strange statement that he didn't ask the Palestinians to leave their own land at the very moment the assault has started against the Palestinians, burning their own land, burning their own homes, burning their own lives. That means he is insisting on his own vicious agenda in actions, not in words. That means that we are up against the strongest and the most serious challenge in the region history, or what's going on in the past century. In the past century, we have witnessed in the past century too many massacres against the Arabs in the occupied lands. We have witnessed massacres against Arabs of all states, and now we are witnessing a new massacre committed against the Palestinians. Now, even in Gaza Strip right now, as we are speaking, there is no any more Hamas or the leaders of Hamas are most of them were killed. So there is no excuse of fighting against Hamas to justify the assault. They are assaulting innocent people in their own homeland, to displace them from their own homeland. That means we as Arabs, as the free world, should take that stand against such vicious agenda. Because I believe that what's going on in Jerusalem, what's going on in Palestine, what's going on in the Middle East will affect other places, will affect the Arabic East, will affect the Middle East, will affect Europe. We have all witnessed how Europe suffered from the consequences of the what they call it Arab Spring. I call it Zionist Spring. And of course, there are consequences for such brutal agenda and brutal actions against the Arabs.
Right. So going back to the idea of displacement, and like you kindly mentioned, that again President Donald Trump have denied that he initiated the idea of displacing the Palestinians and taking them to the north of Sinai in a presumed city that is going to be built for them until reconstruction is taking place in the Gaza Strip. This is all lies. But then again, he is denying it. But again, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff would come and say, no, they should be displaced until there is a full resolve of the situation, and until Hamas release the hostages and all that. So, but the most respectable thing is that President Abdel Fattah Sisi, as a leader of Egypt and as a leader of a country that is taking a lead role inside the region, and also taking a lead role in the mediation and a core front for the Palestinians, and aside the wall, also a defense wall for the Palestinians. He has always rejected that. He has always said that he has confirmed firmly, this is unjust situation for the Palestinians to be displaced out of their lands, even for Egypt or any other country, because this is a liquidation for the cause. How has that affected the stance of the U.S. administration, and even the stance of the Israeli Prime Minister and the Israeli Defense Minister?
Well, as you have kindly directed the attention of the dear viewer, that there is a huge difference between a strong and a solid and stable situation that didn't change, which is the Egyptian situation here. We are insisting on the same very first decision we have taken, refusing the displacement of the Palestinians, refusing to liquidate the Palestinian cause. On the other hand, on the other side of the Atlantic, we are witnessing a change of situation, like he changes his ties. Despite Mr. Trump doesn't change his ties a lot, I believe that the strong strategy, the Egyptian strategy, is strong enough to face that vicious strategy taken by the Americans and the Israelis. And all we ask from the whole Arabic nations to unite with Egypt with the same situation. Trump and the Israelis, and unfortunately some powers in the region, some regimes in the region, support that project of reestablishing Gaza Strip under another name, under another identity than the Arabic identity. They want that reconstruction project given by or taken as an option, or they want to oppose it on the region by the Trump administration and the Israelis and some regional regimes. They want to reestablish Gaza Strip with non-Arabic identity, with an identity that doesn't belong to the Arabs, that doesn't belong to the region, that doesn't belong to our own national security as Egyptians and as Arabs. This is a very strong and a huge challenge we are up against right now. So all I'm asking is not just to take the stand against the displacement of the Palestinians, I'm talking as Arabs, but to unite our own strategy with one project, and to gather all our forces behind that project that means Palestinians can only be ruled by Palestinians, can only be rebuilt by Arabic hands, can only be ruled with a total state, with all its authorities, with an army, a Palestinian army, and a Palestinian police, and a Palestinian leadership, and a Palestinian parliament, and a Palestinian president.
Right, right. So, Mr. Amr Abdurrahman, the journalist and the writer and also political analyst, would like to thank you so much talking to us on the Breakfast Show, and you have a good day. We're going to go to a short break and we'll come to continue the show, so stay with us.